Hello dear viewer, I'm leesusss. Welcome back to Anno 2205, and I think we're about to finally finish the Vanhar Plains. However, we're not necessarily finished on the LP. We will see. So my balance was looking really bad when I started up yesterday. I had to look at it yesterday. I did some tweaks of this various production and various things, and I sorted those out. So we're getting excellent money coming in again. I had to tidy up some of the production things. I had spare stuff that was paused and things that wasn't. I was making too much of certain things, and I've cut down a lot on that. But in the meantime,
glad you took it seriously.
Always for you, Esther.
The custodians are waiting for us to clean out the vault, and I finally got something ready. A sort of spray-on antidote and disinfectant all in one.
Are we spraying cows again?
Should work.
Okay, go spray the cows. So my vehicle needs to go pick this up.
Roger.
Roger the cabin boy. Get over here.
Ropes are fixed.
Okay, and where are we taking it? To here. To spray in through the vents or something. How are we doing with everything here? All good. We're about stable here. We're not really going to do any more growth of people here. So everything could be stabilised.
And how? We've defeated the virus once and for all.
There you go.
The team is archiving centuries of samples. Looks like the Eden Initiative's endeavour wasn't for nothing.
I'm sure they'll be happy to know. You know what? Every time I've done this in the past, this last video has been really laggy. And the one time I do it while I'm recording, it isn't. That's nice. Okay, what have we got that's new? Oh, aerogel tubes. That's the thing to make production faster, but costs more. We are done. That's the end of the Tundra. You may think that's terrible timing, Mush, for a new video. You just started a new video and we immediately finished it. But I was going to talk to Esther. She's got anything new to say for herself.
We're understaffed, so you're always a welcome sight.
That's all right, Esther. Well, you can buy these rare resources in here as well. Okay, we can't always sell stuff to her. Or to any... merchants aren't live all the time, as far as be able to sell things to them. So we're kind of done here, actually. Most of the things are stable. I stopped importing constructor bots because they don't need to be in here when we're not actually doing anything. And we've got some spare resources, and we can make this, use this as a resource placement maybe for later. Get some water out of here or something, or fuel, but... Okay, so what the heck am I going to do with the rest of my video? Well, I've got a good answer for that. I'm glad you asked it. We're going to do something, do one extra thing to do with special projects. So, every zone has a special project. We saw the one here, it was clearing up the virus, okay? And there are different ones here, and they vary a great deal in their subjective value. Because whether you think something valuable or not is your determination, mostly. I'm a practical guy. I like practical solutions, as far as that goes. Okay, so in fact, the one here is a good case of one that sounds brilliant but isn't. And there are ones that sound amazing and are. In fact, the first one I ever did was a brilliant one.
Beijing Electricity is the world leader in energy production.
Oh, God.
Let
me just go and sort this out.
Suffers from inadequate supply of goods.
Right, we dealt with that one. It was a minor problem. It's all been solved. Okay, let's talk about the good one in a minute. Let's talk about one that sounded good but wasn't actually that great. Or for various reasons. So here's a classic case. In this one, you're trying to help the refugees who have been being messed around by Virgil, whatever his name is, Virgil Duck, and they are being terrorised in various ways, literally terrorised. These are the guys that got poisoned at one point. He was really, going for them. So you had to do various things to go through the quest and provide them with materials and energy and, the usual thing, like produce X amount of power for so long, more than you would normally. Okay, that's how you make these guys happy. And as a reward for that, you get a massive boost in workforce. Okay, does that say it here? I'm not sure, probably doesn't actually. Anyway, so that sounds amazing because obviously having people on the moon is darn expensive. They're it's a money pit, and it's very expensive to keep them happy with everything they want, food and bionic hands and all the rest of it. However, although having a massive workforce is theoretically useful, by the time you've done all the things you need to do for the main quest, you have spare workforce anyway. The addition they give you isn't enough to make it really valuable. I guess as we go towards the end of the game, the proper end of the game, where you max out all your resources, that sort of thing could be useful, because these spare guys over here means you could run more industry without having to put more people in. However, just for an example, 135 people there, 113 people here. I mean, it's quite a lot, but it's not that bad. You know, it's not terrible. Anyway, a similar one, an example of a good one, is the first one I ever played, which I think is this one.
Welcome to Cassian Industries. Can I bring you something?
Yes, this one's really good. Okay, so this one was built. This is the first time I ever played the game. I built this one as my temperate zone, and you start in the temperate zone. You've only got the temperate zone. You haven't got the Arctic yet. You haven't got the loop and the moon. And I started here, and this one is rebuilding dams that have been destroyed. There's 3 dams. Every time you build a dam, you get a lot of power out of it, as you'd expect from a hydroelectric dam. And this is really useful because it makes it so much easier to do other things within here. Having completed the projects just kicks up your energy production, and then you can send it elsewhere. It's probably one of the best ones you can get in the entire game, I think. Other ones that are, I mean, this one here, the Kingate Protectorate, the one here was more of a, well, it isn't more of, it is a cosmetic improvement only. What you do is, these are the big cooling units that they're using to rebuild the Arctic environment. And this thing was broken to pieces, okay? And by completing it, you can create more snow in the Arctic zone and rain in the temperate zone. It just increases the level of weather. Now, in theory, that sounds like it could be good. I mean, if you have a lot of wind turbines, you could say, oh, I can make more wind strength. Therefore, I get more power out of the wind turbines. No, it doesn't work like that. It's purely cosmetic, okay? Looks nice, okay? So that's it. That's it as far as it goes. So I find that one of my least useful ones. And this one here is a similar one again. So I haven't actually completed this quest, so we're going to finish it now. And then we're going to do a new quest, which I think is the most interesting one, because it is neither really necessarily useful or not useful, but it is interesting. So on this zone here, we have a partly built
Sorry, not today.
spaceport.
Isn't looking so good either.
Actually, we can't finish it. Oh, I thought it was level 40. So to complete this, I think this smug bugger here, to complete this you have to be level 50. Okay, now in the return from building a level 50 second space elevator is you get another trade route into the world market. Now I've got a number of trade routes into the world market right now. I have, rather than trade routes between you zones you own, you mean you're selling up to Tony up here, and I'm selling my spare rejuvenators and my spare meals, and this is something you have to calculate. Some things are better than others. So if I don't actually know how many transfer routes I can have. Let's try and do another one. Let's do one from the moon, because this stuff, okay, so the stuff from the moon is the most expensive you can get in terms of quality. However, you've got to bear in mind how much the production costs for these things are. So I think that probably these, the gravity anti-grav commentators, are the most expensive things you can get money for if you just sell them outright, ignoring just the sales price, ignoring what the production cost is. So if we sell it from here to here, we're only going to make 528 quid. The problem for that is there's various costs. There's costs based on how many you're shipping. So the more you ship, the more expensive it is. There's not actually a cost. Usually there's a cost from shipping to or from the moon, because they're getting out of the gravity well. Doesn't affect it too much with this one here. But the problem is these things are such high cost to make that you don't get much money back for them. Whereas if I sell luxury meals, which are fairly cheap, I get a lot more back from them. Now, if you go and see Tony,
in particular you wanted to talk about?
Yes, Tony, I'm introducing people to the stock market, to the production market and things like that. Just keep yourself quiet, beard boy, and we'll look at that. Okay, so what you can do are various things. You can look at the sort by production price. So, for example, these are the replicators, expensive to make. This is what they're buying them for and what they're selling them for. So you're going to break even as far as that goes. So you don't want to do that. You want to find things where you're going to get a lot more for the for what you're selling them for, and compared to what they're buying them for. And there isn't anything really good right now, I don't suppose, really. Let's have a look on here. What am I actually selling right now? These things. I know I'm making money. I'm breaking even on this one. I should be losing money. But anyway, the point is you can work it out in that way. Actually, there you go. I saw it.
Anything in particular?
I can have 3 more trade routes. So if I've got spare resources of anything around here, what else have I got that I've got a lot of? How about these ones? I've only got 1 of them. I'm efficient with all my stuff is the thing. Let's try and sell some titanium. We'll go from titanium plates, which is the construction material rather than the raw material. We'll sell it from here into the world market and make 20. It's just too expensive. They're so expensive. So in theory I can have even more trade routes to sell things in and make money. But the trouble is there aren't many things that you can sell that make good money. I know a few of them what they are, which is why I sell luxury meals and I sell rejuvenators, because I know they get fairly good money for them. They're fairly cheap to produce and you get good money for them. But others you probably aren't going to get very much. I mean, let's try one more before I get tired of this. And then we'll go and see the other quest. How about... deuterium? It's just nothing. It's just nothing. I guess I've got to make more of it is probably the answer compared to the shipping cost, because I can ship a lot more. The shipping cost will stay at 200 until a certain point, then it will get more. I'm just not selling enough of it, is the answer. Yeah, it's just... Oh, I hate that. I'm trying to make a new transfer route and it drops me back into the zone again. New transfer route. Blah, I'm losing money. Okay, the point is, when you first hear a new trade route, great, it's not actually very useful. However, we're now going to do one that I say is interesting rather than useful.
Industries, the world leader in heavy industry.
So,
welcome.
Green Tile Archipelago. I didn't talk about buying other regions, but you can buy any other region at any time if you want to. The problem is that most of them are...
Hello, my friend. It's always good to see you.
...expensive to buy. So... it's going to cost too much to buy it. Some of them actually have a reasonable value.
So what can I do for you?
No.
Hello, you wish to speak with me?
No, I haven't got any of those. Right. I own 2 companies already, yeah? I own Cassian and I own Simon. Okay? And this zone here...
to see you. What brings you to Cassian today?
I've come here to see my stuff, Aiden. The things that I own, because I own your company. Just reminding you. You don't mind, do you? Okay, good. Just sit back quietly. I'm talking to important people here. Just, make me a cup of tea or something. Actually, no. Coffee with... No sugars. Cinnamon coffee. Do that for me, okay? Don't make it cold like last time. I'll be really upset. Go on. Hop along, buddy. Off you go. Right, so we own this guy's company. It's a good thing I'm not obnoxious about it. So that means we can just move in here anytime we want to, yeah? We can take over the sector. And in here... this one's actually kind of a tough one to stop. I did this the second time I played the game. I played it on the second hardest mode, and it was kind of tough to break in here. Many small islands is tricky because every time you expand to a certain point, if you have to buy a new island, it costs increasingly more amount of money to buy new islands. Okay, and it can get very expensive to have enough islands owned to build, whereas in another zone you might be able to build all of the basic stuff on one island. Yeah, so it gets expensive and it's a tricky one. However, there's an interesting one here because there's an abandoned facility, and this is an interesting sector project that I want to go and do.
Industries provides mankind a solid footing from which to embrace the future.
Aiden, we talked about this. Shush. Ocean nourishment. We get more production rate from all the coastal facilities, whether it's water or it's... Does it count for power? It just says coastal facilities. I presume that means power as well. Anyway, things from the coast things. So we're going to take over this sector. In we go.
Thing to deal with.
Yes, May. I know you did something good. Well done. Round of applause. Give her the clap. Come on. Here we go. So what we're going to experience here is how to build a sector from scratch. Kind of. Obviously, I've got a lot of resources to keep myself going, but there you go. Whee! Hope it's not too laggy.
This sector is being considered out of commission until recently. Recovering the generator complex could prove beneficial.
I'm sure it will.
First assessments show minor damages and a lack of fossil fuel.
Fossil fuels! We don't want fossil
Suggested
fuels.
course of action. Locating the outdated energy source.
Right. Okay, so here we are. So this is what you get when you first start a sector, and you've got nothing. Not a thing, not a sausage. So we've got to pick an island to go to. We want one... Who's that? Is that Drake? It is, isn't it? Look at him cruising in. He doesn't come in occasionally. He offers you quests, which is weird. But there you go. He says, I bet you can't do this. And of course you do it because it's a really easy task. And then he goes, oh, you want me to do that again next time? And he gives you some money. He's a weird guy. But there you go. What's a good zone? What we got here? We want coastal and we want mining sites. 1, 2... And we can always buy more islands if we want to. We want to buy... So you can see the red dots on the map. We need to buy all of these islands at various times. That one's got no mine. I think I'm going to start on this one. This is usually the best one. It's not a bad size. It's got a couple of mining spots. And it's got a couple of coastal spots. So let's send our little boat over there. To build this. Don't think the first one will cost any money. I'm not sure. It might do because we've got a new zone.
Make sure everything that happens on your new island conforms to regulations.
It's a free one. Oh, I only follow regulations, Sam. Only ever. I'm a good boy. Yeah, so what we're going to do here is we're going to build up a little house, little town, and then what we need to do is we need to fulfill the requirements of these reactors every time. It's a decommissioned reactor. We need all these reactors powered to run this. Okay, and they've all got a demand. So here, all we need is 150 steves.
I took the liberty of adjusting your schedule for this.
Adam? Have you been taking lessons from Aiden? Shut up. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to quickly build up the basics of a town, and then we'll see what we need to do as we go along, and hopefully at some point we'll discover what this mysterious thing is all about. Okay, I think we're there for the basics. I've got a few steves in here.
I couldn't imagine living anywhere else.
I'm starting to get the resources up for building the construction bots, but I'm actually importing them right now because I've got spare ones in my other temperate zone. Actually, get rid of this thing. Don't need a power supply when I've got my tidal generator working over here. But I've almost already used up. I've only got one coastal spot left, which is the problem with this island. But there we go. Right now, though, if we click on this, it needs 150 people, which I've got. A bunch of biopolymers. There we go. Okay, now you'd be unsurprised to hear that each of these has a different demand. So now we need 250 operators, but on this particular island. Okay, now we can actually build operators.
Been a while since I've
I'd upgrade these if I want to.
You were given enough opportunities to join us.
But Drake's being a jerk. But I need to put them on this island particularly. Okay, so we're going to expand over that way and do the same thing over there. Okay, so I did a small bout of operators up here. In fact, they're not quite happy.
I'm sorry. I'm just a little nervous.
Shut up, lady. And what I need to do really, let's make them a bit more happy first, because I need them happier before I can do the next level, because I'll need executives next. So these guys
have no reason to complain.
Vitamin drinks, rejuvenators, neuroimplants, and security. So they want a police station because they're worried about people. Steve's nicking their stuff. Like our Steve Trash nicking their stuff. So we now have very happy people here. We've got increased our Steves over here slightly. What I was trying to do was, we'll always need more of these guys, but I won't necessarily upgrade them. So what you really want is to make them best use of what you have here, and what we're going to use up the most is the information supply. So really what I would like to do, is make these guys basically tax producers. I know I'm getting a bit anal here, but I need to have this organised. That's not going to work for me. It's going to make me angry.
Some work for me.
Shut up, Steve. I know it's pointless. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
Got some work.
I've got this urge to reorganise. Right. Okay. So what I'll keep on doing is keep on squeezing up the numbers here to try and get as many of these guys in here to use up this information supply, and the more of these we have, the more of these guys we can upgrade to the annoying lady here. So again, the same thing. I've got a surplus of security, so I'm not getting my full money's worth out of this. So I'll keep on increasing the numbers around here. Anyway, we now should have enough. By the way, okay, so to keep these guys happy...
And I came to live here. Lucky me.
Earplugs, somebody please. The rejuvenators I'm importing from my other temperate zone. You can only... When you start to increase your tech advances... it's hard to manage the exact numbers of things you're producing, so you often overproduce something slightly, and it just goes into our storage. So I've been selling off the most valuable things, and I was selling off rejuvenators to the world market. I'm now instead shipping them over here.
Will be a hit, judging from how incredible it is down here.
It will save on actually making the factories in this zone. I won't do that until I have to. Neuro implants come from the Arctic. At some point, the Arctic's going to get stretched to bursting in what it can actually do. But not yet. We're fine for now. Now, though, we can activate this using constructor bots and the right number of operators.
Core unit. Stable output at 33%.
Okay.
Next step initiated.